So we are recording. Today we are covering touch points that matter. So this is a continuation of our 36 touch series. So if you've been on the other ones, you guys have already heard that the key to really working your database is to have at least 36 touches a year for your contacts. A lot of people do like working events into their database as part of those touches. So, uh, I made a special class specific for that because if you're not doing events, then this wouldn't really pertain to that. And we get lots of questions about really maximizing events. So that's where this came from. Lots of questions around that. And give me 1 second. We got some more people trying to come in, and my button got hidden on my other screen. There we go. So we're going to be talking specifically about touch points around events and how you can really turn events, as you see, into a referral machine. So with that, I'm Amy Stack. I am the regional tech trainer for the Mid-American region. I've been with KW since 2017, and I've been in real estate since 2012. I am a realtor and an investor. I'm also a labs advisor, so I get to beta test some new products and give feedback based on what I'm hearing from people like you out in the field. And then I am married. I have one dog. His name is Lando Barkrisian, so if you're a Star Wars fan, that's where that comes from. And I have an aunt. I've got 5 nieces and nephews. So that's a little bit of fun stuff about me. I just had 2 niece-nephew birthdays these past couple of weeks, so that's been fun. All right, so today's objective. We are going to discover how to use your client events as a proven system to consistently stay in front of your sphere while delivering meaningful value and position yourself as the trusted go-to resource for your market. Can I go ahead and get yes or no in the chat? Do you currently use events as a lead generation tactic in your business? Go ahead and put in the chat yes or no. And then, while we're waiting for those to come in, today's benefits, I mentioned a little earlier before we started recording, is that we want you to be able to walk away with a practical framework to multiply your touch points, meaning you don't want to have to reinvent the wheel every time you do an event. I want to help you deepen your relationships and generate repeat and referral business with ease by having this great system in place to just kind of do it over and over. Some people do events every month, some do it quarterly, some people just do a couple a year, and that's okay. Whatever makes sense for your business is what you want to do, but the idea is that the system we'll talk about today can help you no matter how frequently you're doing these events. Let's see, in the chat we've got, oh, it's a little bit of a split room. Got a few yeses, a few no's about already doing events, and then we do events but don't exactly use them as a source of leads. Sure, we could do that better. Okay, great. So we can talk about all of those things today. I got to do a little bit of housework with you. I do want to remind everybody that when we're communicating with people, we do need to make sure that we're following the TCPA rules. So if you have any questions about that, you can always reach out to your managing broker or in command. There's lots of resources. If you scan this QR code, you can get all the information in there. And then our next page is the can spam rule. So very similar, but instead of calling, this is about the email rules. So feel free to scan this if you're unsure if you are compliant with that, because we don't want anybody to get fined. Trying to save you some money, lots of money. This could get really expensive really fast. All right, so why do events matter? Well, first of all, they're fun. I think that's why a lot of people have started it, and then they took it to the next level of strategic. But it's a great way to involve community, to build connections, and to make some memories. So I pulled a couple samples of different events that I've seen recently. I do want to give you guys a heads up that today I specifically picked fall events because we're getting into that fall season. You don't have to limit your events to the fall, though. I just picked that for today's class. So taking it from that fun way to it's a great idea to have some fun, get people to remember you for an amazing event. But how do we make it a business tactic for us? So that's where the strategic piece comes into play. One event is minimum 7 touches. I'm actually going to give you a bunch. Most of my touches are multiple touches within one. It's one point, like one thing that you're you're conveying, but there's different touches for it. So like an email and a text. So it's one message, but two different ways. So that's really already two touches right there. So we'll talk about all the different touches you can get in there. And I'm just giving you kind of like a boilerplate framework. You guys can take this and add touches if you think something makes sense for your database or your event. If you need different types of touches, go ahead and do that. But I wanted to give you something to build from. So the other part of this is it's really helping you with events. It's helping you build that top of mind awareness. So if you've been on my earlier 36 touch classes, you know we've been talking about top of mind and mind share. So we want people to think of you all the time for anything real estate related. And what's nice about these events is you're able to connect with them and not kind of like throw up real estate on them. It gives you a value piece to give to them while you're communicating that's not just saying, who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest? It's giving a different conversation that could easily lead to some of the conversations of, oh, you have somebody that you know that has kids that are graduating. Oh, well, maybe they're going to be moving soon because they're becoming empty nesters. Or same thing with marriage, or kids that are having their own progression in life where the kids maybe need to purchase a home, or anything. Maybe somebody needs to downsize, they have to move for work. Any of that could come up at these events, and you're not necessarily asking for that information. It just comes out naturally in conversations. So then the last piece about being strategic here is generating that referral and repeat business. So that is all about having those conversations. And if you're doing an event that is a community event versus a sphere event, that's a great way to get new people into your pipeline so you can build your database. So that is a good way to grow the database. If you are working an event that is just going out to your sphere, maybe you're doing a VIP event for people that you have worked with and you know personally already, you can also work these events to get referrals from them, which also grows your database. So even if it's not just open to the world, you can still grow your database that way too. So events are a business growth system. I see something came in the chat. Oh, no, it was just an alert that somebody joined. Awesome. All right. Any questions before we move forward about why we like events? I see some head shakes. Nothing in the chat. All right. We'll keep on moving. All right, so what we want to do to plan our event is choose your theme. I do find it much easier to plan events when you have a theme. It makes all the other pieces fall into place a little bit easier, so make sure you have a theme going into it. You want to align your event. What does that mean? Think about your client base and your business goals. Do the two things make sense? Does the event make sense with those two things? For example, in the past, we've talked about tagging your database, and one of the things we brought up is pets. Maybe you have a lot of animal lovers in your database. Maybe one of your business goals is giving back to a local animal shelter. So that's two things in alignment already. So what's a third thing we could do to help stay in alignment that is event related? Maybe we do a pet parade. So that's hitting our pet lovers, and we can somehow tie in giving back to a local adoption facility. So that's what I mean when I say align your event. Make sure that it makes sense for you and it makes sense for your clients and who you're reaching out to. You also want to make sure you're setting a clear outcome. This is for yourself. So you want to make sure you understand what your goals are around the system, around the event, so that you can build systems to support that. So are you looking to get referrals? Is this just a brand awareness campaign? Or are you looking to get repeat business from people? So you want to make sure you keep all of that in mind as you're planning your events, and that will kind of dictate some of the steps that go into place for you. And then lastly, of course, you need to actually plan it. So you need to have a timeline, you need to have a budget, make sure you have that budget in place so that you have your red light, green light, you know that you can afford this, you can't afford that, and what we need to do going forward so that we don't end up upside down on this event. And then of course you want to plan your marketing touches. So today we're going to talk a lot about those marketing touches. And I see something came in the chat. Oh, hey, Patty. So she said for the college-bound kids, parents could possibly buy a condo, single-family home in a college town for the kids. Oops, it moved. For the kids to live in for parents or other visiting students. Absolutely. That's a great idea and a great conversation you can have during these events. And then Kimberly, I see you have a question. Feel free to come off mute and ask.
Great. I didn't want to interrupt. Everybody feels differently about that. If you could go back, please, I'm sorry. Events should be in alignment with your business goals, referrals, repeat biz, and what else?
So I have choose your theme, align your event, and then the align your event is think about your client base and business goals, and then set a clear outcome. So that's your referrals, brand awareness, and repeat business. Is that what you were
Brand
looking for?
awareness. Brand awareness.
Okay,
That was the one that I was missing. Thank you very much.
perfect. Yeah. Okay, then let's go ahead and move on forward. So I gave you the heads up earlier that my examples for you were going to be fall related. So let's go off the idea of choose your theme. We've got lots of great fall activities coming up in our areas in the next few months. So the big three for the end of the year are typically pumpkins, pies, and pictures. So we have pumpkins, meaning pumpkin patches, corn mazes, apple orchards, that type of thing. That's a great September, October event. Pies would be more of our pie day around Thanksgiving. Can you guys go ahead and put in the chat, put an emoji of a pie or any your favorite pastry if you've ever done a pie day event for your clients? I'd love to see how many people are doing that. Have you ever done pie days? And then the third one in here is pictures. So that's pictures with Santa, pictures with the Grinch, all kinds of fun holiday time things. Obviously, those two are very Christmas centric. If you celebrate Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or anything else, you could do any type of family type pictures for the holiday. There's lots of holidays in the end of the year here. Let's see. Kimberly said food drive Halloween contest, Christmas VIP event. Yes, these are all good ones. So I just wanted to kind of get your creative juices flowing and think of some things that you could do themed for the end of the year. Anything else that you would like to share that you have done or have been thinking about doing that would be a good event for fourth quarter coming up? What are you planning on doing?
We do. Hi, everyone. This is Giovanna Schmieder.
Hi, Giovanna.
We have done in the past, like a movie. We rent a movie theater. We usually do it at Hollywood Palms, and people really seem to like it. The only issue that I have with that, and I don't know if Kimberly agrees, is that, it happens really fast. And once you go into the movie, you don't have time to talk to people, right?
That's
Right?
true.
Because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to be super quiet, and you greet them. And what we have done in the past is we have Santa. We have, like, if we do it around Christmas, we have picture with Santa, and then everybody takes a present when they're done. And we do raffles before the movie starts. But it's very, like, they get there, they want to take picture, they go in, they sit down. You do, you just let everybody know that you're thankful that they're there for you, and for being your client. And you do some raffles, and then at the end people get up and go. That's kind of like the
Hmm.
thing. But I think that that has been the most, or the event that we have the most people show up,
I would agree.
um,
Yeah.
because they bring their kids. They RSVP, they do the whole thing. But it's like a free movie, and who doesn't love that, right? Especially at Hollywood
Yeah.
Palms, that is such a nice, venue. So I think that for us, we have tried different things. We have tried, got Halloween parties. For some reason, people don't show up. We done, like the trunk trick or treating, like,
Mm-hmm.
put candy outside, and then people come to that. But when we
Yep,
do
trick or
like a
treat is
movie,
good.
yeah, when we do like a movie after like 5 o'clock or something, people don't tend to show up. I don't know if it's too late for people to bring their kids. So, but we try to, like, do different things. We have done cookies. We've done Christmas, like, we try to do a Christmas event at the beginning of December. Because if we wait until the end of December, like right before Christmas, the same thing.
Everybody's busy, right?
There's a no people are busy shopping or doing whatever. So it's been, kind of like you try and you see if it's gonna work. But so far the movie theater is, it has been the best. We do gotta work better on getting referrals from that, because people do like it, they love it, they show up, and then you're done.
Yeah, absolutely. I thank you for sharing those. I put in the chat just now, I just dropped in some of the ideas that you brought up or made me think of things I know other people have done. I think that the key was something like the movies, you hit it on the head. You found the right time to do it, and you know a lot of people are coming. So how do we really maximize that event? I
Mm-hmm.
do know some people that do events, and beforehand, they'll kind of have like a pre-event where people can come pick up their snacks and everything, or pick up their snack tickets, and then they can go to the theater with their little ticket. That way you get a little bit more one-on-one time, but you also want to make sure you have an amazing follow-up plan in place as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit today too. Thanks for sharing,
Okay.
Savannah.
You're welcome.
All right. So here is our key 7 steps to creating touch points. So I told you I had 7 main bullet points that we're going to cover, and some of them will have multiple pieces within it. So number 1 is your save the date. Once you've picked your theme and you have your date set, it's okay that you don't have all the nitty-gritty details figured out yet. You want to get that save the date out as early as you can, just so people's schedules aren't filling up and they're missing out when they could have saved it ahead of time. So there's multiple ways you can get that save the date out. One is if you're doing a monthly newsletter, you can get the save the date in there without necessarily a reservation link or a registration link, anything like that. You can just say, have this cool event coming up. Make sure you save the date. We'll send more information later. You can also send that as a standalone email and a text message. You could, of course, use this as a phone call as well. There's lots of ways you can do that. And then your next step is your formal invite. So I said, if you stay until the end, we'll go over a smart plan. I do have a smart plan laid out with time breaks in here. So giving you an idea of like how far between these steps as well. But after you save the date, you do want to send out a formal invite where you're going to be requesting people RSVP to the event. And that again can be multiple touches, email and text. And that's because people communicate in different ways. So you want to make sure you're covering your bases and sending it out in different media forms. I didn't put this on here, but if it is something that's a community event, you can also put that on social media. If it's something that you want only specific to come to, I would caution you about putting anything on social media until the event has already happened as like a touch to show everybody what you do for your clients. Because if it is something that's invite only, you have the side where it's like creating a little bit of FOMO, but you also don't want somebody to show up that wasn't invited and you have to turn them away. That never feels good, right? That's icky, and we want to stay away from that. The other part about the nice invite only events is it feels special to get that, right? That they're on the inside, they're in the VIP crowd. So having that formal invite to people for a invite only event is a really nice touch to them. And this could even be through postcards or a physical invitation in the mail as well. So you'll make that make sense for your event, but just make sure that you do have a formal invite going out. I do see that Patty, you have your hand up. What's your question?
My question is on the save the date message.
Yeah.
How far ahead of the actual event does that?
Good question. I think that's going to vary on the event. If it's a bigger event, you'll probably want to get that save the date out further. Think about like a wedding. Those save the dates go out a year ahead of time, right? But if we're talking about a movie, chances are the movie hasn't even been announced for a couple of months before it's available in the theater. So you can't send that out as far ahead of time. So it really will vary by the event. And I think if I'm recalling correctly, I think I have my smart plan set up for like a couple months lead time as just a boilerplate starter for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So after our formal invite, we do want to touch that's a reminder follow-up, and this can go to people that have RSVP'd. So you say, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you. I'm looking forward to it. You can also send it out to, I've had people do this where there's people that have RSVP'd no, and they'll send them a separate message if there's still seats available saying, hey, just in case your plans changed, I wanted to let you know we had a few extra seats open up. Are you interested? So that's a nice little touch as well. And that you'll have to kind of play by ear based on how much availability you have for your event. In the movie theater example, there's only so many seats, right? We can't just tell people, hey, come on in anyways. However, if it's something that's bigger and outside, or like an open house style of event, people could come anytime. They wouldn't necessarily have to have a reservation for that. So keep that in mind and think that through depending on what type of event you have. Then we have the week of event check-ins. So this is going to be, this is where I see the most people, this is the easiest step to skip. However, this is the step that really makes a difference. If you are reaching out to people, honestly, most of the time it's through text and call is more purposeful. Yes, an email is a good touch, but if you are reaching out specifically to people through a text or a phone call saying, I can't wait to see you. Remember, it's this time, this day. If you're doing any sort of like donation for the event, you can remind them of that as well. But having that personal conversation really helps with the conversion from registration to attendees. And every now and then, I mean, you'll get people that say, oh my gosh, I can't make it anymore. I'm so sorry. But it's that touch, right? It reminds them that you're thinking of them. And the people that still can go, but were kind of on the fence, now know that you're expecting them. So they will be more likely to come as well. Okay, we got a couple hands. Patty, go ahead.
Oh, I just totally lost it. Come
Okay,
back
well,
to
I'll
me.
go to Giovanna. If you think of it, raise your hand again.
Okay.
All right,
Uh,
perfect.
Yes, so I do have a question. You
Yes.
mentioned that sometimes people do a donation towards the event.
Mhm.
How does that work? Because I mean, I have never asked people for anything. So, in your experience, how does that work?
Yeah, usually, good question. Usually, when I see stuff like this, people have that on all of their marketing. So, if you're doing flyers or social media graphics or invitations via email or text, they'll have something on there that talks about this event is also generating donations for XYZ, or one of my passions is supporting, I mentioned the animal, local animal shelter or something. So, you can depending on the place, sometimes they'll have like an Amazon wish list or they'll have their own list of supplies that they need. Or if you're doing like a local food pantry, you can just say we're collecting non-perishable items or whatever the item is that you're collecting and just have a box at your event. Or if it's your car and you want to open the trunk in the back and have people come in and drop stuff off, you can do it that way as well. So just make sure that it's on all of your marketing and then, of course, in these reminder touches too. That help? Oh, you're on mute
Yes.
if you're, oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, I
That's
just
okay.
I know some people tied up and maybe it's just me, because I feel like if you do like an event, for your clients and your potential ones, asking for them to bring something is not a free event for me. It's like somehow they have to pay to be there. So
Ah,
I don't like that.
yeah. So absolutely, you definitely, it's not something that's required, of course. And
Hmm.
if you do ask for a donation, I wouldn't just say if you're able, right? Something along
Yeah.
those lines. It's not a requirement to attend. We just are also part, that we'll go back to the animal thing. Like we're doing this pet parade. I love this local animal shelter and I want to support them. If you have anything that you're able to contribute, go ahead and bring it and I will bring it to them. So it's saving you the trip of, throwing things out or running to this place to do this donation, like just bring it to the pet parade that we're already having, and I can go ahead and bring it to the Humane Society for you. So that
Got
way
it.
it's coming off more as a service than like, gimme, 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 right? We don't want that.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Go ahead, Patty.
I was wondering what your thoughts were on agents collaborating to put an event together rather than
Oh,
you
yeah.
just doing it solo.
I think that is a great way to do it. I've seen this in several different ways. I mentioned Pi Day earlier. I know a lot of times offices will host the Pi Day and several agents will be there doing their pie pickups. So everybody will kind of have their designated space. And so that's more of like an office organizing it. I've also seen pictures with Santa where multiple groups, like different teams or solo agents have partnered together and they each will send their invitations to their sphere, and the agents that partner together, they pay for Santa together, they pay for the photographer, or somebody gets a photographer that's willing to do it kind of like pro bono as you know, just extra awareness for them. And they'll have a lender come in and sponsor the cookie decorating station or something like that. But I think the important part of going in with multiple agents is you guys need to have a clear idea of who's responsible for what that marketing is. And if this is only going out to your sphere, it's an easy, everybody's marketing to their own people conversation. If it's a community event, you need to have a plan about who gets what new leads that are coming in as well. So that
Okay.
just needs to be laid out ahead of time. But yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely think that's a great way to do it, especially if it's people that don't have huge budgets and want to do a bigger event. You can partner
Yeah.
together and it
That's
looks,
what I was thinking was
yeah.
the budgeting thing. And if you don't have a big sphere yourself that you
Mhm.
would be sending it to, it would allow more people to participate.
Definitely. Yeah, and it makes the room feel more full and exciting, right? That if there's
Right.
lots of people in it. So I think that's a
Right.
good way. You guys could do that with the movie theater too, right? If you can't,
Certainly.
if you as one agent can't necessarily sell out a movie theater, maybe partner with a couple of agents to do that together. I keep going back to that.
Perfect. Thank you.
I like the movie theater. It's on my brain apparently. All right, so after we do our personal check-in the week of, you can also do social media teasers. Now, I gave you the little caveat earlier that you want to make sure that this is done purposefully around your event. So if you are doing an invite-only event, I would just do some like behind-the-scenes shots saying, can't wait, setting up for my VIP event, right? And not necessarily an invite, but just like a little teaser of something you're offering your clients. If it is something that's a community event, put that registration in there if you can still accept registrations and do a little invite call out on there. Either way, the behind the scenes things are fun and people are like, ooh, what do they have going on? That looks exciting. How did I miss out on that? I want to be part of that next time. So the social media teaser is a great step to add in there. And then we have our post-event information or touches. So we want a thank you or a missed you. So whether or not they came, you can still have a touch here. So if they came, you reach out and you tell them thank you so much for coming and follow up on any conversations you had with them. And if they didn't come, reach out with a miss you, hope you can make the next one. And then on social media or your newsletter, you want to share what happened at your event. So if you did raffles, announce the winners. If you didn't and you just have some amazing pictures, just do a little recap. Like, so happy to have so many people, amazing people in my world that were able to come out for this event. We couldn't have done it without our sponsors. We raised this much in donations, whatever it is, put all of that information in your social feeds and on your newsletters to kind of bring that conversation full circle for anybody, whether they attended or not. And then I have my bonus at the bottom. Remember to ask for those referrals and follow-up appointments. So when you're doing this thank you step, make sure you're following up on any leads that may have come up so that they're not getting lost. Any questions on the 7 steps here? Okay. Then we're going to talk about systems and tools. So of course, I like to use Smart Plans in Command to help automate invites and reminders to myself. I also recommend doing some sort of tracking for your attendees, and that could be, some people do it by hand on a spreadsheet. Some people use event platforms like Eventbrite, or I've used Luma in the past, or TicketLeap, are all different types of event tracking RSVP systems. So just find one that you like and make sure you're using that so that you have a good idea for your total head count. You want to make sure you have enough materials, seats, food, whatever it is that you're doing, have that tracking system in place. And then of course you want to make sure that you're leveraging templates and AI for efficiency. So if you are somebody that does events regularly, have an event template invite ready to go and just swap out the information for the next event. That way you're not trying to come up with new language every time, and it just kind of saves some mental capacity for you. Also, you can definitely use AI. So if not every single event is the same, so if you are struggling with your words or how to fit it all in without it being, like this long of a message, go ahead and leverage AI to help you with that writing, kind of be your copywriter on there. And I have some specific examples for you with that on different ways you can use AI. So for brainstorming and planning, you can ask AI to generate creative event themes tied to the season. So we kind of had a little mastermind at the beginning of the call, but if you're at a loss for your theme, ask AI. Here's a prompt right here. Give me 5 fall themed client events ideas that work well for families with kids. So if your target audience are families with kids, throw that in there. If you're thinking more people that are looking to downsize, change that target audience from family with kids to people downsizing their homes, right? Whatever, whoever your audience is and whatever time of year you want, go ahead and use that type of prompt. You can use AI to build checklists. You can use it to help build your budget and break down what you need and what maybe you can afford versus might want to afford or might want to get a sponsor for. You can use AI for marketing content, just like I said earlier, to help you write your invitations and your social media content, or even to turn your event into multiple posts. So if you give social media like a whole kind of event recap of what you're doing, it can break it up into different pieces for you if you want to have kind of a social media campaign. You can use AI to help design things. So you can have, there's templates in Canva you can create. They can do AI generated backgrounds or images. They can create icons, banners, and graphics that match your theme. And then we also have your boosting and your post-event leverage. So you want to make sure that you're using AI to do things like drafting your smart plans, which I kind of may have done for you already. Suggest conversation points or text message wording. So if you're not really sure what you want it to say, or you're writing things down and you're like, gosh, this is the message I want. However, it's really convoluted or it's too long, have AI help you with that. And then you can have it summarize your RSVPs for the event or feedback into some quick insights that you can then also use for that last touch I said to then share your story post-event. So like I said, again, post-event is my last AI tip for you to help you write thank yous, turn your pictures and information into newsletter articles. You can do create a what you missed social recap for people that didn't attend, and then you can also draft follow-up messages for those referral asks. So remember, okay, I know I talked to so and so because their sister is moving to Florida for work. Like, let's turn this into a nice conversation piece that's not just like, hey, what's your sister's info? Let me reach out to them so I can make some money. We don't want that, right? We want to have a nice softer message around that. So those are some suggestions on how you can use AI. And then I pulled up some samples for different events too. So I mentioned pumpkins for our first one, and I have some arrows pointing out things on here like they have a sponsor. So if you need a sponsor, definitely include them on your marketing, but you don't have to be the one footing the bill for this event. So keep that in mind. This one we touched on donations already, but I liked that about this card. So right here it says canned good donations for Lowell County Food Bank are encouraged and are very appreciated, but it's not a requirement. But they just put that little caveat on the bottom there. And then on this one, it is a pumpkin patch event, but they gave some more specifics about like bring your family. It's not just for you, the person reading this, bring your family. Here's some other exciting things I'll be doing at the event. And then there's, of course, the call to action to RSVP. For our pie event, I have a sample of a save the date over here. You can see this is a sample of a sticker they put on the pie. So this isn't part of the marketing, but it's something that they take with them. And what I really like about this is 9 times out of 10, people take these pies to their family Thanksgiving events. So if you have a sticker like that on the box of the pie, it's got all of your information on there and everybody's like, oh my gosh, your realtor gave this to you? That's so cool. And now they're talking about you at their family party. That's pretty fun, right? And then this picture at the top, this is a Keller Williams background. So I liked that they took pictures in the office. They've got kind of like the real estate call out. I had to crop the picture to fit it in here, but just showing the fact that they're in your office, having the real estate pieces in there. This blonde, she is the agent in this picture. So she's posting pictures like this as people come in to pick up their pies and just celebrating them and acknowledging that they came for the event. Same thing here, real life pictures. and what you can do. This person obviously held it in a wine store. And then my last page of samples is our pictures. So again, just reminding you to get your marketing in those pictures. So this person has that for sale sign in the background. Some people will do like step and repeat banners. In this one down here, it's not just pictures with Santa, it's join us for complimentary hot chocolate, cookies, and pictures. This one says no need to RSVP, pets welcome, so make sure you have that set up how you want to. I loved the idea here of turning that invitation into a text that looks so clean and nice on the phone, and we know that people don't check their emails all the time, so that's a nice different way to get in front of people. And then this was a recap one that I thought was pretty cool. So Santa wants to help all realtors, so helping people find their homes. So they did pictures with Santa, and after the event kind of sent this little postcard out that had a picture from the event and then a little bit of information about how I as the realtor can help you. So that was a nice little after event touch. Any questions? Did this give anybody inspiration with these samples? No, okay.
I really like the text of that you pointed out. That
This
is
guy?
the yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love the text. Looks a little different. Oh, I missed one. I missed my green arrow here. Again, just a little call out to a mortgage sponsor. I love how this was built into the belt, but that's just kind of fun little marketing piece. Okay, so we are going to leave my presentation and pull up Command because I want to show you how you can find the smart plan that I made for you. So we're going to do a little bit of in-practice work here, but we're going to talk about how you can find a smart plan that I created for you, add it to your usable plan so that you can actually use it. We'll go over how to update it. So we'll talk about renaming it, putting prompts in AI and adding your event details, and then learning about the remove trigger. So we'll talk about that a little bit, if that's a new concept for you. And then we'll talk about how you can start it. You got to send it to your database and of course, post on social to grow. So give me 1 second. I'm going to readjust my screen here. All right. Can everybody see my command screen? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, thanks, Patty. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to turn on my cursor highlighter so you can follow that a little better. Okay, so I'm in Command. I'm on the home screen. So we're going to go to Smart Plans. And just because you came to class, I built a nice little shell for you with AI prompts right inside of it to help you with your events. So if you come over to Smart Plans, it's the 4th icon on the left. And if you're newer to Command, you can always hit this red square on the left and it will open up all the names of our applets. I'm going to keep that closed though. So I'm going to Smart Plans. And this takes me to all of my plans that I've already created, but I actually published one for you. So I want to show you how you can find that. You can see right here that it's called MAR : so MAR for Mid-American Region, Client Event 7-Step Plan Outline. You don't necessarily have to remember that whole name. So we're going to go to the library button at the top. This is where you can find published smart plans that other people have created and shared. And then there's this search bar. So we're going to do MAR : and you can see here is the client event 7-step plan and outline. So if you love this idea, go ahead and give it 5 stars and then hit add to smart plan. You can see there is a description right here. So it says this plan provides you with a step-by-step system to turn one client event into multiple meaningful touch points. It includes ready-to-use AI prompts for emails, text, social posts, newsletter blurbs, along with a smart plan shell for invite reminders, follow-ups, and recaps. The goal is to help agents consistently stay in front of their sphere, deepen relationships, and generate repeat referral business through simple seasonal events. Simple seasonal events. So this is a shell because everybody's events are different. I couldn't make one that's for your specific event, but it's got those 7 different touch points in there. And I built it out with AI prompts. So you can take the prompt and put it into AI and add your event details, and it can generate the content to put in those steps for you. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So once you find this plan, go ahead and hit add smart plan. You can rename it if you want to, and then you'll hit download. Now it's already in my library, my own smart plan, so I can't hit download. It'll give me an error message. But hit download and it will become usable for you. And once you go back to the My Smart Plan section, it should be the first one listed because it's the last thing you touched. So when you come all the way over to the right and hit the edit pencil, you can get in and see all the steps I've created. So you'll notice this is a lot more than 7 steps, but there's 7 touch points. So day 1 is a touch point, day 7 is a touch point, so on and so forth. Patty, to your question earlier, so this smart plan is a little longer than a month, and this includes those follow-up things. So this is probably a month ahead of the event is where you would want to start this particular smart plan. However, you can edit the wait times between steps. So you can see day 1, it says wait 0 days. So all 3 of these reminders will go out on day 1. And then it says wait 6 days. And then there's day 7. So then there's 2 things that happen on day 7. Another week goes by, 2 more things happen. Another day goes by, another 6 days go by, an email happens. Okay, so I'm going to start opening some of these up so you can see what that looks like. Now this one is a task reminder. So this is something that you will need to do versus send an email and send a text. These are things that can be automatically sent out to your clients. So if I click on that task reminder, you can see in the description, it says AI prompt. So this is a prompt you would want to copy and paste into your favorite AI platform, whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, anything like that. So the example here is write a friendly, concise newsletter blurb reminding clients to save the date for an upcoming real estate appreciation event. And then my example is give a headline of save the date, make sure to include the event name, date, and clearly list the time. Give me 1 to 2 sentences about why they'll enjoy it. It's community fun, family friendly, or seasonal. You can update that content to make it custom to your event. End with a reminder that makes that more details are coming soon. So if you don't have the date at this point, that's fine. I mean, if you don't have the time and registration information at that point, that's fine. This is a save the date. You're trying to get the date out there, but you need to tell AI when it's happening and a little bit about the event and why people should come to it. And then you can put this whole prompt into the AI and it will generate your newsletter article for you. I like this call to action or this direction at the end here, giving the AI a tone. So in this case, I want it to be warm and inviting, but still professional. And I want to keep it under 75 words. I don't want a novel here, right? You can change this tone to what makes sense for you. If you're more like fun and kitschy, or maybe you're a little woo-woo and you like doing the more kind of out there type of events, change it to make sense for who you are. So I've got prompts like that in all of these steps. So send email. So here's an AI prompt. Write a professional and friendly save the date email for a real estate client appreciation event. And then where it's all caps, event name here. Put the event name in there. Tell it use this format. And then here's the format. And you can add the details and edit the details that you need to put in there that are custom for you. So in this line here that says save the date details, obviously you need to put in your event and the date and the time. It won't know that unless you tell it. I see we have a question. Go ahead, Patty.
Is this smart plan something that could be used for like the Market Center wide Oktoberfest or something like that?
Yeah, I don't see why not. And maybe they want to make one that's custom for you. That's got,
Okay.
if they know all the information, talk to your leadership teams.
Okay.
But yeah, if the market center is doing something and they're not advertising it out to the public and you want to, or you want to advertise it to your sphere, you could totally do this. You just need to tell the AI what the specifics are so it can
Right.
help generate that content for you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you'll notice on these ones, these save the dates, I don't have anything in here that's a call to action to RSVP. I do add that in these later ones. So you can see there's a section here in this email step. Include a clear call to action with either an RSVP link placeholder. So it'll say insert link here that you can just drop in, or RSVP instructions. So like reply to this email or text this number or call this number. That way you've got that RSVP in there for this day 7 step. And then we have a text version of that as well. And then day 14 is an email and a text again with different prompts. Day 20, can't wait to see you. Oh, let me close out of this guy. Uh-oh, my screen froze. 1 second. Let's refresh this. There we go. So where were we? Can't wait to see you here. Day 20, can't wait to see you. So write a warm and professional reminder. So again, these prompts are all the same, warm and professional. But if that's not your tone of voice, just update that. And you can see the subject line has changed. Can't wait to see you. And then again, just drop this prompt into AI and then you can update it. Now, if you want to actually make any edits to these steps, which you will after you get your AI prompts, you'll need to hit the edit pencil. And I have them all selected as a simple email, so that means there's no pictures in it. Your pictures are more like your newsletter type style emails. In these cases, it's all simple email. So it's just plain text. And you can change the subject line here if you want to. You'll put this prompt into AI, and once you're happy with it, you can paste your actual messaging right into the body of the email. And you'll notice at the end, I have a couple of these blue text pieces. These are merge fields. So it says agent first name, agent last name. So that's going to pull your name in there. And then there's placeholders for brokerage name, phone, and email. So you will need to add those in while you're coming in here and updating your message section from the AI prompt. Otherwise, it will literally send Amy Stack, brokerage name, phone, email, and then not have information. So you'll need to add that in there. I didn't want to put my information in there because if you send it, then I'm getting all your leads, right? We don't want that. We want you to put your info in there. Now, if you do want something that is more of one of those emails with images and everything, you can just go to designs here. You'll have to create the design first, but if you've created that step in a design, you can click the designs little radio button here, hit select design, and these are all the designs I have in my command designs library. So I could select the one I want, hit save and close. And now that step has pulled in for my email. I'm just going to switch back to simple here. Go ahead, Patty.
With the designs, now that we have Canva integrated, will designs that we've done in Canva show in that design library in Command?
Not yet. Right now, designs and Canva are two totally separate things. So everything you're doing in Canva is in the native Canva environment. So it's not integrated into Command. That is the idea of where they want it to go, but they wanted to see how everybody was using it and like what functionality they wanted out of it before they started building that integration. But that's a great question. You can still download things from Canva and upload them into designs to use them that way, just like we've always done. All right. So you can see there's lots of steps in here and they all have a different AI prompt. I don't think I need to open every single one of them. So once you've customized them, just quick review, you come into the smart plan, you'll click on whichever piece you're working on of the smart plan, hit the edit pencil, and you want to copy this AI prompt into your favorite AI tool, and then copy the description that it's come up with back into Command and hit Save Changes. So there is a little bit of work you'll have to do, but ideally, you'll be able to just duplicate this smart plan over and over and update the event specifics versus the entire smart plan. And now you have to think a little bit less about what steps do I have to do, when do I have to send it, what type of content do I need to put in there. It's all laid out here for you. So any questions about the smart plan? Make sure you hit save when you're all done with it. Any questions at this point? Okay, so the one other thing I wanted to touch base on, I said that I would cover learning about the remove trigger. So I've had agents say, you know, I've set up these smart plans, but people keep getting them even after they've replied to me. So there is a feature, if you want to take advantage of it, called a remove trigger. Let me get into the edit. So you pick whatever step you want to work on. And, oh, this is a task one. I clicked the wrong type of step. Give me 1 second. Go back. I need, here, let's do this guy. Oops, I went back too far. When you are in your smart plan, you'll see at the right-hand side, smart plan details. Towards the bottom, there's a section that says auto add and auto remove rules. So you'll see a little bit farther below, remove contact when. So if I check either of these boxes, as soon as one of those actions happens, the person will automatically come off of that smart plan, meaning they won't get any more future communication from that plan. So if a contact replies to an email from the smart plan, take them off the smart plan. If a contact replies to an automated text from the smart plan, take them off the smart plan. So you do have that option if you want to take advantage of that. And the other question I get here is, well, what if I don't have the automated text set up? What if I'm not paying for Twilio or I want to manually send these text messages? That's fine. You can still use this smart plan. It is set up so that if you're using Twilio, the text integration system in command, it will send through Twilio automatically for you. However, if you don't have that set up, it will just send you a task reminder to invite the people via text, and it will give you the prompt that you created right here in the system so that you can just use that same prompt to text people from your phone, or if you're using a system like Reach or Hit 'em Up, you can put it in that way as well. So those are kind of my little pro tips for the smart plan. Just remember, if you're using this auto remove trigger, they won't get any future communication, so that means they won't get the can't wait to see you or the follow-up pieces either. So you just need to kind of figure out how you want the smart plan to act and know that those are options for you if you want to use them. All right. So that was my in command, kind of showing you the things, where to find them, what buttons to push. We're going to come back here. We just got a couple minutes left. We're nearly there. Thanks for hanging in there. But now it's time for you to take action. So with one event, you can have 7 touches, and each of those touches we've established has sub-touches, and you're going to generate real business. So as a little recap, you want to make sure you pick your theme. The ones we talked about today were pumpkins, pies, and pictures. You want to pick your goal. Are you looking to get referrals? Are you looking to brand yourself and get your branding out there? Are you looking for repeat business? And you want to pick your date. Make sure you're adding it to your smart plan today and getting it out there in front of people. So what event do you guys want to commit to? What makes sense for your business? It doesn't have to be one of these 3, just in general. Go ahead and come off mute or put it in the chat. What
I
event?
think, hey
Yeah.
guys, I think that we're gonna, stick to the movie for the holidays. I think it's, kind of like an easy thing to do. You look good, people love it, they bring their
Yeah.
family, and we just have to execute a better plan for, like you said, these touches, and make sure that we do get some time to talk to everyone who's coming in, rather by like either, we can set up a day for them to pick up their goodies and tickets to get in, or just, like right before they get in, maybe set up a, because they were giving us an hour before the movie started. Like the movie theaters are kind of strict on that because they don't want so many people in the lobby. So maybe we can just sit up outside or do something. I mean, we got to
Totally.
figure out what to do, but
Yeah.
depending on the weather. But yeah, or they can just stop at the office to pick up their tickets and then pick up their goodie bags, and then we go from there But I think that the movie, like I said, I've been doing this for 13 years, and I think that has been our best, event so far.
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Christy said the prompts are golden. Oh, I'm so glad you like those. Wonderful. Any other events stick out to anybody today? What do you want to commit to? What do you want to use for lead gen for yourself? Not seeing anything in the chat. All right, I told you if we hung out till the end, I'd give you a couple more resources. So one of the things in here is this tips for hosting a pie day. I'm gonna put this link in the chat.
Can you guys hear me?
It's okay if you can't hear it. I really just want you to have the link, and it's playing an ad right now. So 1 second.
Hey guys, it's Jen.
Has anybody heard of Jenny Wallach?
No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, mixed bag here. Okay, so Jenny is a top producing agent out of Oklahoma, and she does Pi Day every year. She made this little video. It's less than 7 minutes long. That's got some of her pro tips for hosting a successful Pi Day event. A lot of those tips can be applied to other events as well. So I just put the link to that in the chat for you, if you want to take a look at that. And then I know we covered a lot of things in Command in a quick amount of time. So I'm going to put some links in the chat here as well that can help you if you need to come back to it. Like maybe you were watching me and you're like, oh, that makes total sense. Then you go into Command later to pull up that smart plan from the library and you're like, how the heck did she do that? Save the link I just put in the chat. This will show you how you can add plans from the library to your own Command account. And then I got one more for you. How to edit the smart plan. So once you find it, how do we actually customize it and make it our own and update all those little steps? So that's how to edit an inactive smart plan. So that just means that nobody's currently on it. So it's built and you don't have any people assigned to it. So that's editing an inactive smart plan, which there's much less you can do if it is active. So we want to make sure you're making your edits before you're putting people on it. But I just put that link in the chat as well. So there's 3 resources for you, and I'll leave this screen up if you want to scan those, and if you want it on your phone, you can do that too. Now, like I said, everybody does events differently. Every event is different. So this was more of like our baseline where you want to start. Remember, you can customize those steps. You can customize the different pieces of the events as well. So I've seen people do Pi Day several different ways. We have people like an office hosted and several agents come in at once. There's agents that hand deliver pies. There's agents that will have a spot that everybody comes and picks them up. Some people will do a hot cider bar during that Pi Day event. Some people do one flavor pie for everybody. Some people request what flavor do you want, and they'll offer 2 or 3 different flavors. So there's so many different things you can do, and that was just one event. So just know that this is a way to get you started, and you can really customize the event to make it make sense for you, your budget, and your clients, and your timeline. With that said, I would love if you would take a moment to scan this QR code and do a little feedback survey for class. So I'll leave that up, and while we're doing that, I'm gonna just say we're ready for ahas and action items. So please either put in the chat or go ahead and come off mute and tell me what's something you learned today or something you want to put in action based on a conversation we had today.
Amy, I know I got in like probably 2 minutes after you started the class.
Mhm.
Are you going to send this class to us, like pre-recording?
Yes. So I
Okay,
have
great.
a newsletter that goes out every Monday. It's called the Tech Stack Weekly. So it will be in there.
Got it.
I also have a YouTube channel. So it's just the Social Stack you can see right here. So as soon as it's available on the Social Stack, you can watch it. Whoops, I didn't mean to escape. You can watch it live there as well. Let me put my QR code back up for the survey in case we need that. I'm going to put one more link in the chat for everybody. We have a Mid-American Region Tech Hub. It's called the MAR Tech Hub. So I'm going to put that in the chat. That has a link to my YouTube channel as well, and some other great resources for technology. Some things that we create monthly for the region, information about upcoming classes, and just some guides to help with AI, Command, DocuSign, stuff like that. So I just put that link in the chat as well. All right, what else did you learn today? What was an aha? What was something you're like, oh my gosh, I have to go do that?
Definitely the movie theater thing. I haven't heard of that, and I haven't tried that yet.
All right.
That's something I'll probably set up in the next few months.
Good thing Giovanna was on.
What was that?
Yeah, thanks, Giovanna.
I'm sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you.
No, I didn't know about throwing like movie theater events. So that's something
Oh yeah, those are wonderful. And I mean, you can do it locally. You don't have to go through like a mega super, theater. I think that, you just gotta check and see what your sphere is going to be able to make it, because if you do it, let's say in Naperville and your sphere is in like Tinley Park, I mean, that's going to be far for them, from them, you
Yeah.
know. But so I was thinking, you know, I'm just going to go a little bit like an extra step and maybe do like, I was thinking maybe two, because I have my sphere is quite big. I have a lot of clients in the Joliet area. And then I have a lot of clients in like the Yorkville area. So I might do two. Just, you know, I have to think about that, but maybe I
That's
can just
smart.
split it into two, because some people have, you know, they make comments. They're like, well, I wish we can go, but it's, you know, we're far. And so that way they don't have an excuse, you know. So I'll let you guys know next time
Totally.
if it worked out.
It's
Yeah.
relatively affordable too, and you can build it up
Yeah.
however you want it. But we were able to, the year that we did it, we were able to get a hold of some microphones, and the whole team stood in front of the whole movie theater, which was our own event. And we got to thank people for coming, thank them for their business. So it worked out really well, and it wasn't that bad.
You
Nice.
know,
Expensive.
you gotta talk to the movie theater, you know, obviously ahead of time. You have to commit to whatever movie. And the thing with the movies is that sometimes you don't know, you know, what day they really are coming out. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe just keep an eye on that. Or you can just say, you know, it's a surprise movie or whatever. I mean, if you don't know for sure what, and then in one of those touches that you're going to remind them, you can let them know, or just say, you know, stay tuned, we'll reveal the movie, you know, whenever. um what I usually do, just, you know, to wrap it up so you guys have an idea how much we spend, we always get a title company involved, and or an attorney or loan officers, or kind of like, you know, we ask 5 people and see who says yes. To be in compliance, you have to spend the same amount of money that everybody's spending. So be careful with that. So if you
Mm-hmm.
get 500 from a title company, 500 from your loan officer, you got to make sure you spend 500 or more on your side. So just keep in mind that you do have to spend some money. But what we do is we offer them, you know, we talk to the movie theater and we get like a deal, right? Like popcorn and soda for everybody. And then what I do is, you know, we get goodies of like candy and stuff. And I don't let the movie theater know because they'll get mad. But right before they have to sit down, I pass like a little bag with like candy.
Uh,
And then we give prices, you know, like different things that, you know, they're not food related. And at the end, because we don't know if we're gonna see these people again until the next year, we will have a Christmas present for them. And
oh,
it's, yeah,
that's
so we do that, and they either take like a box of cookies or chocolates or something, and we, you know, with our logo, we always put our like, you know, you said, a sticker so people can see it. We do that too. And then in the past we have given also, because I done it for like, you know, like 5 times at movie theaters. We we do pies too. So we have big boxes of pies, and as they're leaving the exiting the movie, we give everybody a pie.
well, that's
That's
awesome. So you're
cool.
kind of doing all these,
Yeah.
a few things all at once.
Exactly.
That's great.
So, you know, and then obviously pick a family movie, because, you know, most people they want to bring their kids.
Mhm. Yeah. If you guys are doing stuff that's like, if your business is very social media heavy, make sure that you're sharing, you know, take a picture and tag me on Facebook or Instagram or, you know, wherever your clients are. That way that'll grow some social media buzz for you. If you're doing things to collect information, make sure you have a way to do that, whether it's like a sign up to get on your monthly newsletter, or like that could be a Google form or a QR code or a physical piece of paper. So just make sure you have all of that, and then you have that follow-up plan in place as well.
Yeah.
That'll
One
really
more
help.
thing that I just thought about it, and I forgot to mention before, is that, you know, you guys got to make sure that you are careful with copywriting, because one year I just kind of like got the picture of gosh, I think it was one of the Grinch or something. I forgot what movie we were, you know, like we were going to showcase, and then somebody told me you can't do that because you don't have the rights for that. So what we did is we kind of like like made, you know, got a movie, like, and they mentioned that it was close to the Grinch, you know, and then we just put something else in there. But just make sure that you don't get in trouble with copywriting.
Yeah, you
Just a
probably just
little bit
saved me a
off.
lawsuit.
Exactly. Oh, and we did one year was Avatar. I think you know, Kimberly remembers. So we just did kind of like everything jungle blue and stuff like that, and then we put the name on it. but we couldn't just grab one of their, images and put it in the invites. I don't know why, but they told us not to do that.
Well, I mean, somebody knows a reason why. They're trying to keep you safe.
Yeah. I think an attorney told me that. They're like, yeah, be careful. So, but yeah, but everybody knows that is, you put the name of the movie and kind of like the theme and the colors and they get it.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you guys all for sharing. I'll put this back up too. So if you want to scan to get that tech hub or see any of this other information, feel free to do that. As I mentioned, the recording will be out by next Monday at the latest. It might be up on the YouTube channel before then. But I really appreciate there was some great participation and idea sharing. You guys were awesome to work with. Thank you for doing that. And if you are looking for classes like this in your market center, make sure you talk to your leadership team. I just booked everything through the end of the year for every market center in the region. So I'll be out to everybody before the end of the year at least once. All
Thank you, Amy.
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Amy.
You too. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.